Here we are live at the 360 Vegas studios with this edition of School Police Talk. We have some great guests here. We have the chief who is back and he wants to enlighten us about a lot of different things. And sir, please tell us your name and what it is that you do for the Clark County School District. Please.
Yeah, I'm Lieutenant Steve Hewitt. Right now I'm one of our administrative lieutenants, and I supervise 3 of our administrative bureaus. That's our training bureau, our technical services bureau, and our diversion and wellness bureau for the department. And then I also, on top of that day-to-day supervision, I also lead our breach and rescue team, which heavily focuses on active assailant training and preparation and making sure that our officers are trained and prepared on current trends and our response to any active assailants in our schools and our whole valley.
Very impressive. We hope that it should never happen. We hope that we never want to use your mind in the way that you know and how to do things and get into a door and walk around the hallway. We hope that we never have to do it. And we want to tell everyone, listen, that you are prepared. Don't try this.
Some good things have come out of preparation-wise. We had a great idea, and I was talking to somebody who retired from our department. He used to work in a prison, and they have these SRT teams that come in and they remove prisoners from so I thought about the conversation, and Lieutenant Hewitt mentioned our breach and rescue team, and we didn't have a name for it or anything like that. But after Uvalde and just some of the other incidents that had happened, because we do track a lot of the school shootings that happened throughout the country, and there's a number of them that happened last school year. The breaching was a concern. That how do we overcome the breaching of a door? Well, that's where we have specially trained officers. I think there's 17, somewhere around that neighborhood, who are equipped with tools to actually breach doors. All of our officers actually receive training in breaching doors, and all of them receive the breaching tools. But we do have specially trained officers that actually will come in. They're placed throughout the valley here, and they'll respond as well. They have the equipment to basically get in anywhere they can, and they also have mass casualty medical equipment as well, and the training to back it up. So they'll bring in backpacks of tourniquets and bandages and things like that to ensure that because medical is going to take a minute for them to actually be able to be escorted in there. So our officers are now trained to actually provide that assistance immediately to save lives. So, I always need more officers, and that would help. But for what we have, we're doing a good job. I believe we're prepared. And I go to conferences and training seminars and things like that all the time. And there's one thing that they always say is that you're either a school district that's coming out of an active shooter or one that's going in. So your mind should be in that, thinking about that, because and learn from those that have gone through it. So I meet once a month with chiefs of police of school districts throughout the country. Once a month we meet and we talk about problems, things like that, and they share their experiences with their active shooters on their campuses. A good one was a shooting that occurred in Atlanta, Georgia, with a good friend of mine, Ron Applin. He's the chief of police over there, and now they have alarms on every single door throughout the day. So, and then they have weapon detection systems, and the student was inside their school all day with a firearm. So, and we answer a lot of questions about that, about weapon detection systems and adding all this layered approach to security. We can add everything we could possibly can, but there's the human element is always going to be there, and it's difficult to overcome someone set on doing harm. And his response, his officers saved lives, things like that. They're heroes, and they were able to arrest and prosecute the assailant for that. And it's just things like that we hear about all the time, or I do, and I put it out to our department, and I ensure that Lieutenant Hewitt is aware of each and every one, so he can evaluate the specific things that occurred during that shooting incident and challenge what we're doing as a department in our response, and what do we need to do to improve that, to overcome what just happened somewhere else.
It's fantastic. I thank you for coming in.
Yep, thanks for
I
having
thank
us.
you for coming in. You know what I mean?
No, thank you, Lee.
All right, so now we're going to look at this camera and we're going to wave goodbye. All right, we'll see you later.